Hi everybody, this is Melissa, your Free Range Psychic. Today is March 31st, 2024, and I want to wish everybody who celebrates a happy Easter. Today my guides wanted me to do a reading on Rona McDaneil, formerly Romney. She changed the name because Trump didn't like it, didn't like her association with the Romneys, and especially Mitch. And they want me to talk about the kerfuffle around the hiring of Rona McDaneil by MSNBC as a pundit and a consultant, and then 3 days later her subsequent firing, and just all the uproar that caused, and the amount of outrage that actually got her fired. So confusing, right? Why did they hire her? And we're going to also have an oracle card from the Sacred Destiny deck by Denise Lynn. I want to thank everybody who's left wonderful reviews for my book, A Bridge of Light, How to Pray to Angels. That is on Amazon, and if anybody wants to leave a review, especially if you like the book, I'd really appreciate that. And you can purchase the book, still purchase the book on Amazon. So let's get started. Oh, before we get started, something I never remember to say. Please like and subscribe, and also, if you want to get notification that my videos are coming up, just hit the notification bell and you'll get them. You won't miss an episode is this really an episode? No, you won't miss a video. Okay. Let's see what the guide's saying. Always with any reading related to Trump, we're going to get the devil, which is Trump in this reading, the orange one. And then Rona here, the guides chose this card for her, which is the Page of Pentacles. So this is her looking for opportunities. And the third card, a clarifying card, is the Six of Swords. So in order to get the opportunity she wanted, she had to at least pretend that she was moving away from MAGA and Trump. And that was not, as we see, entirely at all successful, because here you have Rona having been an election denier, involved in the 2020 attempted coup, allegedly. Well, and then above, this is the tower. Yes, this is Rona McDaneil involved in this attempt at taking over our government, and then continuing to push the big lie that Trump really won the election. And she really has never backed down from that until rather recently, when MSNBC was considering hiring her, and she had that interview, and she backed off a little bit. Yes, she did. but then not really 100%, because she said although she didn't believe the election was stolen, there were problems with the election. And that's part of the big lie, like casting doubt, casting aspersions on the 2020 election, so that it enables people and encourages people to believe that, well, maybe Biden really didn't win legitimately, etc. So this very much is Rona. And then Rona, having been still caught up in the fallout of this attempted coup, that she and you see she can't hide. I mean, she's right there, bare-butted, as it were. She's not able to hide her involvement. And in the past, we have here Knight of Swords and Three of Pentacles. So the guides say that the Knight of Swords, yes, of course, this is Rona McDaneil, going full out for Trump, being one of his soldiers, being a soldier in the crusade, this kind of perverse holy crusade to bring down the American government. And then here's the Three of Pentacles. So this is the deal she was making with some of the higher ups at MSNBC to come in and continue this crusade. I mean, they knew who she was. She didn't really, how much could she change her spots? They're MSNBC, so this is a mystery, right? Why is this deal being made? I believe by these women, Carrie Brown and Rashida Jones. I think Rashida Jones is a network chief, and Carrie Brown is I think she's like a VP of network news, something like that. High up executives of MSNBC wanting to bring this in, barely disguised, really, to kind of I want to say contaminate, but to infiltrate. That's a better word. MSNBC. And my guides say that, to swing it towards the right, and that they felt that this was an opening if she would just distance herself a little bit from her role in this attempted insurrection, where they actually did invade the Capitol and do quite a bit of damage here to even the infrastructure. And they wanted to blow it up too. Remember the bombs that were planted. So underneath is the Lovers and the Four of Pentacles. My guides say that this is her still being a true MAGA cultist, and a big motivator. And this is just probably for all of them, all the MAGA Trumpers. Money. And she's trying to, because think of this, the Republican Party is really broke. All their money's being drained to Trump and his legal fees and miscellaneous, and there's not money for her there. And she was the head of that wing of the GOP, so she's very much responsible for it going broke, or at least I think she tried to put some brakes on it. I don't know. I've read various conflicting stories about it, but she was overseeing it. So, but she's walking away from that, and now she wants to continue making money, lots of money. and MSNBC, I think they were offering her like a 2-year contract, $300,000 a year, and she's suing now. And I am not 100% sure whether or not they have settled or they're going to settle. And there was a rumor that she would get $600,000 to just walk away. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's, I think, still negotiation. Somebody can tell me if it has been settled. So in the future, the guides show me the hangman for Rona, and this is her being considered radioactive because she's created a mess for herself in her greed and, I guess, normal desire for a very ambitious, immoral person. And, what do I have to do to continue my lavish lifestyle or increase it? I got to do what I got to do. But because when she did that, she pushed herself away from Trump and MAGA so that she could be acceptable for MSNBC. She alienated herself from MAGA, and she's not really hireable. It didn't work. This attempt, I think, a kind of like half-hearted attempt, or there was a resistance to that attempt. She could have probably lied better about saying or her wanting to make people believe that she wasn't part of MAGA anymore. She was completely aghast at what had happened, right? She could have said, "This is terrible. I feel terrible about what happened. I want to spill the beans and dish the dirt and let you know about this horrible enterprise that is Trump." But that is not what she was doing. So now she's made herself radioactive, unhireable. It's going to be difficult for her to get employment. I'm sure, somewhere, maybe News Nation or One, or is it One or Own, whatever that other right-wing station is, or maybe even Fox. I don't know, but nobody's stepped up to the plate and said, "Oh, Rona, we'll hire you now." So she's really made a mess for herself in what she's done. And the guides show me this interesting clarifying card, which is the 6 of Pentacles. So they say that it wasn't just these women, that apparently the Carrie and Rashida, and there may have been one other, I can't recall the name of, that offered her this job because they actually knew her. She had met them in the past, and they're also, at least Carrie is a Trumper, according to several articles I read, so that's just allegedly. They thought it would be good to have her on in the mix and, have a voice for and an insight into Trump and the Republican Party. My guides say that actually, of course, Russia, Putin, somehow has, via a great deal of money, maybe even indirectly, swayed this decision, gotten people to, it's like kind of like having the devil in your ear or something. There are people who are seated in all these corporate or entities, the corporate media, to bring in misinformation, to bring in this lean towards the far right. Because why? Because the election is coming up in November, and this is their big push to try to sway the American public against Biden. How do you do that? You infiltrate the media. They've done that pretty well, I think, with CNN to some extent. obviously Fox is just working for them, and even at times MSNBC, you've wondered, there's this criticism from the right that MSNBC firing Rona McDaneil just shows how they, don't give Republicans a voice, but there are plenty of Republicans in MSNBC. And they've gotten more and more neutral, I think. I mean, obviously they have their strong voices like Rachel Maddow and Rona McDaneil, but there are times when you're watching MSNBC, which I really have not watched for the last year or so, because I felt like they were not the MSNBC I recognized, and highly critical of Biden and not really very critical of Trump to some extent, or at least his most egregious, rallies, etc. Now you may tell me, I'm sure, and hit back, and that's fine, because I haven't watched it. That they have been doing that, but I just feel like they've gone a little bit more to the center. A little, not quite right, but there are those voices there. It's like Andrea Mitchell, right? So, but that's what the guides told me, and I think the reason they wanted me to do this reading was to let people know to be careful now of what we're getting from the media, which is exactly what Putin wants. He doesn't want us to trust anything. It's a way to disempower, or any information that we're getting, or anybody. It's a way to dissociate us or disempower us from being plugged into the source here, so we can bring in what we want to bring in, and we can be behind the Democrats in the assistance, right? But there's going to be a lot more misinformation, or attempts at misinformation, and Rona McDaneil was one attempt. But this is all they got, really. They don't have very much else. They do have the Trump mafia, who are coercing and threatening judges and juries, etc. They do have that arm. But I believe the FBI is becoming much more active in terms of putting those people where they belong, which is in prison. But watch out for misinformation. When it just feels a little weird, it doesn't feel right, then, you can always research yourself. You can figure it out. But this is just one indication of, and thankfully a failed indication of what they were trying to do, was to get Rona McDaneil there, and she wasn't going to be like Mike Cohen or something, and come out with these exposés and these I'm losing words to this morning. I'm sorry, but this come to Jesus moment. I guess that's appropriate because it's Easter, and spill all because she has recognized this is egregious and horrible, and how could she be involved? That is not her at all. She's still in. She's still in there. So for the MAGA dream, and I think that if MAGA was successful, she'd certainly be boom, right back in there trying to continue to chip away at or destroy our democracy. So the outcome card is the 10 of Swords. So this is a card, the guides say, that is showing, this is Rona McDaneil, right? She was not successful. She was fired because of the uproar of not just the MSNBC news anchors who were appalled, like Rachel and Lawrence, but also the American people. This is our voice. And the American people are represented by this innocent deer, right? This deer who's kind of an onlooker, bringing Rona down, saying, this is not acceptable. This is just crazy. What are you doing, MSNBC? And that's why she was fired, because of the voice of the people and the voice of the and the integrity of some of our most favorite news anchors on MSNBC, and not just MSNBC, but just generally. If you looked at Twitter, And wow, there was a huge pushback from so many important people, and we're important too. The public, we have the power too, and this is really what brought her down. Okay, so that was my reading on Rona McDaneil that my guides wanted me to do, and they just want to let you know that you have power. You have the power to make huge and significant changes, and you have the power to bring the Democrats in that we need to bring in, and for Biden to become president again in 2024. And to make huge changes, positive and beneficial changes for not just ourselves and families, etc., but the world. We've got the power. The people have the power. So the card that was chosen from the Sacred Destiny deck, Transformation. The sacred landscape wants you to know this is a time for change, reinvention, or a rebirth into a new way of being. If you've been plodding along, this card suggests that you take measures to shift everything. Don't resist change. The blue color suggests a spiritual renewal or initiation. Transformation doesn't mean taking something old and remodeling it or rearranging a few things. It means becoming something completely different or doing something completely different. Change is often uncomfortable, but it usually is for the highest good. This is a very lucky card, and drawing this card can mean that a wish may be about to come true. Transformation. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the reading today. I am still available for personal readings, anything in the past life, in the present, which are past and present in this lifetime and future. I love to introduce you to your guardian angels, and I'm a medium. My information is below in the description box and at the end of the musical interlude, which is coming up. I promise you the live will happen. I'm not sure about this Thursday. It's either going to be this Thursday or a week from this Thursday. It just depends on what I can manage, but I'll let you know I'll try to let you know at least 24 hours in advance. Maybe, if possible, it might be best a week from this Thursday, so you do have plenty of time. But I promise I'll let you know. I love you. You guys take care. And again, for everybody celebrating Easter, happy Easter. And I will be back. Bye-bye.